Good evening and welcome to the melting pot that is the Monday night bite-sized live stream. And I'm going to apologise at the front end of this, if you're listening to this podcast, that noise you can hear is the two fans behind me. My biggest fans. They're just there. It's going to be a warm one tonight, people. So I've also got the window open, so Buds could be out there doing a lot of barking. So I'm just putting this right at the front end of tonight's podcast, just to let you know that any noise that's out there is not really my problem. It's your problem for listening to a podcast that's filmed live in somebody's basically bedroom when it's 32 degrees outside. Okay. So just as you should have like a warning come up at the start of this, shouldn't it? You should have like a warning sign, a warning sticker that comes up at the front end of the pod to apologise basically for the poor audio this week. But let me know if you can hear the fans in today's show. Oh, it is warm in here. I also realised that I was slightly a little bit early with going live tonight, but we'll worry about that later. So, good evening, everybody. I hope you're surviving the heat. You're not doing anything stupid like going out and doing fast intervals and all that kind of stuff in this weather. It's not worth it. It's a busy week this week. We've got two events. I've got two events this week, coming weekend. I'm doing the Clapham Park Run on Saturday in Clapham in London. And then on Sunday, I'm doing a local race here called Wear 10s. I'm there doing a 10-miler, which I'm looking forward to. So, let me know in the comments if you are joining us live. What's your thing this weekend? What races have you got coming up this weekend? Super interested to know. And again, genuinely, anybody who's joining us live tonight, if you're listening to this as a pod for the first time, we record these live with a live studio audience. So get into the comments, guys, tonight. I'm here to answer your questions, coaching questions, shoe questions, whatever it is you want to know about. A bit of a plug front end. Make sure you've checked out our shoe reviews on our website now. It's not just the YouTube channel. On the website, they come out as well. Check that out. You can get 10% off sportshoes.com if you're not a club member. Not a affiliated club member. Over on that page as well, there's a 10% code there. But I'd recommend you all join as an affiliated running club member, because you're going to get 15% off at sportshoes.com. So check that out. If you want some coaching and things like that, get in touch. hello@FORDYRUNS.com. Always interested to hear from you on that side of things. What else do we need to plug? I think that's probably about it in terms of plugs. More importantly, this week, review-wise, tomorrow we've got the Adidas Prime X Strung 3, whatever it's called, coming. That drops tomorrow. So the embargo lifts on that shoe. Embargo lifts on a lot of shoes tomorrow. And a lot of shoes that we've had on the channel actually go on sale tomorrow as well. So check that out. There's still some shoes I'm trying to get some mileage in, so I can put some videos out. I'm hoping to get this week, at the end of this week, enough mileage in the Puma Magnify 3 to put a video out on that one. So that should hopefully be coming at the end of the week. And we've also got on Thursday, we've got the Asics sort of Edge versus Sky thing. That's an explanation video about the differences between the Edge and the Sky, but also a little bit about which shoe I prefer out of those two and why. So that's after doing two races in them. So that's coming. So tomorrow, Prime X Strung 3. Thursday is Sky versus Edge. And then hopefully Saturday, the Puma Magnify 3 video will drop as well. That's it. We've got some other stuff. I'm just looking here because I really like it. I mean, look, what do you think of this colorway? I'm holding the Prima 2 up here, by the way. I bought these up because I'm going to have to do a video on these at some point. They're so comfortable, the Prima. But look, if you compare them, look. Prima 1. And I love this shoe, by the way. Prima 1. Prima 2. Prima 1. Prima 2. See any difference? There ain't a hell of a lot. Great shoe these are, people. Don't sleep on the Adidas Supernova Prima. Just putting that out there. Really like that shoe. Really like that shoe. But yes, anyway, so that's that. As I said, trying to get some miles in a lot of the other shoes at the moment that we've got. Been really lucky. Got loads of shoes with us at the moment. So just working my way through those. Marathon training is full swing. Did a video at the weekend with the boys that was us just cocking about. Don't think it's going to make a very good vlog, but let me know when it comes out. And yeah, okay. So thanks everybody for joining us live. That's kind of the intro. If you have just joined us, again, just on the plug side of things, make sure you check out the written reviews. We're doing them now. If you're doing the Great North Run, by the way, come along to the Shakeout Run. We're blowing the doors off there. There's over 250 people already signed up for that. So come along to that. And yeah, I think that's about it, isn't it? Make sure you join as affiliate club member at Bollocks as well. Okay, right. Should we get into your questions and your comments? Again, thanks to everybody for joining us live. The show only happens because you guys join us live. And I really genuinely do appreciate it. It means a lot. So I'm just going to say good evening to everybody. Thank you, Gary, as always. Okay. Here we go. Again, if you've got a question about running shoes, coaching questions, whatever it is, what fans these are behind me, keeping me not really cool, let me know. Okay, so RY. Didn't get on with the Brooks Glycerin GTS 21, so changed it to the Saucony Triumph 23, and they are a dream. The Saucony Triumph 23 is a shoe that we have in the rotation at the moment. And again, I need a few more miles on them to put that. The shoe that actually has surprised me that I've got from Saucony is the Hurricane 25. I just forgot how good a shoe that is. I don't understand the embargo date that I've got given with it. That's why there's no video out on it. I'm just a bit unsure about the embargo date, so I'm checking on that. So before I can release a video on that, the Hurricane 25. But yeah, it's a bit bizarre. But that's another shoe that's great. But the Triumph 23 is a good change. They've made it lighter, which is good to it, which is positive. So yeah, makes sense. So yeah, I don't know when we'll get enough miles in that to put a video out. So again, I try not to rush the videos out anymore. It's just So there we go. Okay, Dawn can't hear them. That's good. So maybe I'll get away with the edit of not having to edit out the fans that are behind me. Can't hear them. That's good. What's up, Brian, to you? As an autistic, I struggle in summer. How do you cope with running in the heat? Is it worse with autism? I don't necessarily think the summer. Maybe, I don't know. I have ups and downs. I think like any person who's got autism. Without going too deep into it. Last week, I found myself slipping into certain things. I caught myself, and I was aware that I was doing certain things. My sort of autistic traits, as you would call them, I was aware that I was doing them. So it tends to give me some warning signs that I may be needing a little bit of time out and things like that. I was aware of that, but I caught myself, and I was self-aware of the fact that those signs were there, which is progress, and that's comes a lot of it down to the work I do with myself. So I wouldn't necessarily say I struggle more in the summer. I think the only thing that's more noticeable in the summer is the amount of noise and smells that are around, probably more than anything else. That's probably more the noticeable thing. Smell of people's barbecues, suntan lotion, the noise of people out and about late, that sort of thing. Maybe. But yeah, so not really. Maybe. Don't know. It depends more where I am in my sort of patterns. Ian's in. Good. Hope you're well, brother. Pablo, easy 7K tonight. Well done. It wasn't easy. I know, I bet it felt like 70K. Anybody's been out tonight, let us know. Blimey, that's It's a strong ass tonight. Lee Jackson is in the house. Okay, Megan. And don't forget, guys, we've got a load of shoes that are dropping tomorrow. Like all the Brooks stuff. So you've got the Brooks Hyperion. Again, we've done videos on these Brooks Hyperion PBs. That's coming tomorrow. I think the Hyperion Max 3 might even be out tomorrow. There's loads of shoes dropping. Loads of shoes dropping. So let us know if you're watching live. Is there any shoes you're going to be picking up tomorrow because you've been waiting for them? Rebel V5's coming again. They did that initial drop. There's a load of colorways coming tomorrow from the Rebel. What else is coming? Yeah, so let us know and we'll work way through it. So anyway, going back to Megan's question. Hi, FORDY. Would you go for a Super Blast or Saucony Speed 4 for the marathon? I'd go for the Super Blast because it could do everything. It's an amazing shoe. New colorways coming. Putting that out there. Yeah, Super Blast all day long. All day long. Although I do really like the Prime Extra. Probably shouldn't have said that. Embargo, people. There's an embargo. Stick to the embargoes, FORDY. Stick to the embargoes. It may be appropriate to say it's hot, maybe a bit too hot. Good evening, everyone. It is Mike. It's on the warm side. I don't mind. I don't mind running in the heat. I quite like it. I didn't have time to go out work. We're so busy today. I didn't get time to run today. 15K long slow run today. Got a bit of a blister in the fourth of the Neo Vista 1. I haven't had any blisters in the Neo Vista 2. So, yeah, Neo Vista 2, I've not had any blisters in that shoe. It's definitely an improvement. Neo Vista 2, definitely. Again, it's another shoe I need to get more miles in before I can do a video on it. But we will. We're not going to rush that one out either. We're not rushing anything anymore. Happy Monday, FORDY. I'm packing for my holidays right now. How much fitness could I lose in 7 days? Not a lot. I won't even worry about it. It's the thing, isn't it? With a holiday, you either go, you know what, I'm gonna take this holiday as a holiday, and I'm gonna do nothing. Nothing wrong with that at all. Absolutely brilliant. Or I'm gonna go, you know what, I'm gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna do a bit. Always look at holidays as maintaining. You're probably realistically, unless you're going on a running holiday, you're never gonna gain much because you're probably gonna miss some of the key elements through the week, all right? But you ain't gonna lose anything. Okay, that's the way you got to think about it. You're never going to lose anything. The upside's huge on a good holiday. All right. I personally like to do some running when I'm on holiday. I tend to do the treadmill, and I tend to, go out once or twice for a slightly longer one. Again, I'm maintaining. I'm not looking to do 20 miles, on a long run when I'm on holiday because it's a stupid idea. Just go out there, enjoy yourself. I'm with my family. I'm with my girls. I look forward to it every year. I can't wait. We checked us in today. I'm so excited. Okay, 2 Sheds Glenn's in the house. Looking to get another pair of Saucony Pro 4s. As I see they're a bit of a discount. They are, mate. New colours coming in them. As a hill striker running about 5:20 per kilometre, suit me well for race days. Would you pick another? Yeah, I'd probably go Ugiri from Asics. It's a cracking shoe. But unbelievable. Hill Strike as well, SC Elite version 4. Brilliant shoe. So, yeah, they're probably 2, just off the top of my head. Okay. Dan. Hi, Dan. Hi, Chris. Would you recommend the Brooks Hyperion Max 2 for bigger runners? Need an up-tempo long-run race day shoe. Have a half marathon shoe. Love the Ghost Max 2, but don't want to race in them. Yeah, I would recommend. I ran the Brighton Marathon in the Hyperion Max 2, and it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I was running. I was on for sub 4, then Speedgoat blew up, and then we came in at 4 something or other, and it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And you can pick them up cheap because I think, again, I mentioned it at the front end. I think the Hyperion Max 3 is coming tomorrow, maybe July. Is it July? I can't remember the exact date. Anyway, there's, again, going back to plug-in, the written reviews are out. So I had a glass of creatine before I came on. There's the written reviews are out on that. So go check that out. And there's a discount on that shoe. No, not on the Brooks, because you don't get Brooks discounts at sportshoes.com. Think about it. But you do on other shoes. Check it out. But yeah, go for it. Going to be Gary. Matt Nash questions in the house. Plenty of running shoes can be overpriced these days. However, what shoes do you think are actually worth their recommended retail price? Super Blast 2. Super Blast 2, the Evo SL. Although you can get the Evo SL at sportshoes.com using your affiliated club member code. And obviously you can use the 10% code as well from the website. But yeah, I think the Evo SL, even at 130 quid, is a good shout. And the Super Blast 2. Super Blast 2 all day long, even though it's just so much money. But you can just buy that one shoe and do everything in that shoe. I know some people don't get on with it, and I totally respect that. But there's not many of those people around. It's an unbelievable shoe that can do everything at that price. So, yeah, I think it's worth the money. Boston 13 is another one as well. Chuck that in the mix. 140 quid. Again, you can get that at discountsportshoes.com. Head over to our written website. You get 10% off. But that at £140, even if you didn't get a discount, is a good shout. I think it's a fantastic shoe. Zoom Fly 6 ain't a bad one. 155 quid. It's getting a little bit steep, but that's a good versatile shoe as well. So there's plenty out there. Plenty out there that are actually worth it. But I think you have to give Adidas a lot of kudos. 130 quid for Evo SL, 140 quid for the Boston 13. Fair play to them. Don't forget the Prima. If you had to pick one shoe to do all of the training runs and then run the marathon, what would it be? I think I just answered my own question. It would be the Super Blast 2. You're welcome. New colorways coming, people. Get involved. Yeah, it'd be the Super Blast 2. Hobbit running on plants. Yeah, 100% the Hobbit running on plants. Get your Super Blast 2s in. It's the one shoe that can do it all. It's so amazing. I've just seen a good question from Tom. I might jump to that in just a second. Hi, Chris. Got the Great North Run 10K Newcastle this coming Sunday. Looking forward to running over the Time Bridge. Great place to run. Yeah, we love it. Again, we're heading up to Newcastle for Great North Run. We've got a big shakeout. As I said to you, we've got over 250 people already signed on for that. It's going to be huge. We're going to be rocking it out. Come along Saturday. All the details on our website. Check it out. I'm going to jump over to Tom's question. I'm going to come back to where I was, because Tom's just put in an interesting question. So let's just jump to this one. I think some of you guys might like this one, but I'm just going to make sure I get back to where I was. If you're sponsored to review shoes by these brands retailers, how can you give a truly authentic review? Just genuinely curious. It's a great question, Tom, and I think that question can go out to everybody, really. Anybody who reviews any products, not just shoes. People who do cameras, people who do fishing gear, people who do bikes. It's the same thing, isn't it? It comes down to, you as a person, I think, in terms of where your morals sit and how you sit and how you are as a person, I think. Now, out of those people who review products online and written, some are journalists, so it is their job. Look at the guys at the Run Testers. Absolutely brilliant guys at the Run Testers. Really like that. If you're not one of the people who aren't subscribed, make sure you go and subscribe. But those guys are journalists, yeah? Brilliant. And they get paid to write reviews. So that's good, yeah? So it's the same thing. So, but obviously they have a duty as journalists to give their own opinion, to give their honest opinion and stuff like journalists would expect. You get channels who are sponsored who get paid, 6 figures to review products. Whether that's ethical or not, whether they're giving biased stuff, I don't know. But you have to hope that they are being unbiased in the respect. All I can say is the stuff that I do is that I shoot from the hip, and I have upset people, and I'm not meant to upset people because it's not what I'm here to do. But I try and be as authentic as I can. I will get stuff wrong. I will make mistakes, and I will get carried away. I try to get less carried away than I do, and I also try to be less. If I get annoyed about stuff, to be annoyed about it, and try and be a little bit more grown up about these things with certain things. But I am one person, and I think that comes down to being a neurodivergent, who shoots from the hip and says how it is. And I like to have things a certain way. So I will always personally tell it how it is. I'm telling you now, I get very excited tomorrow about the Primex Strung 3. You may turn around and go, well, that's because you got sent the product and whatever. That's fine. I've been sent products. I'm absolutely hammered them. Because I have to be true to myself. And I've been in meetings with brands, with retailers, and I've said, you know, this is who I am. This is the way I am. And they've all seen the Nike Pegasus premium video that I did. You know, they've all seen the other stuff that I've done. And that's why some of them don't want to work with me. That's why I don't get necessarily invited to some of these trips. And again, I have not got a problem with that because I've set my stall out to be the way I am. Again, it's not everybody's cup of tea because, especially because of my autistic traits and the way I am with my ADHD, I do say a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't say because I just say it how it is. And that does slow the channel down in terms of where it goes out. Because again, a lot of people don't like that. There's a guy who's having a go at me because he didn't like. He said I was being horrible to people in the comments because they disagree with me. It's not necessarily the case. I have an opinion, and the way I put that across, because again, and that's not to fall back on and using it as an excuse. That's just me as a human being. Because the way it's short and that in the comments is, it's not necessarily I'm disagreeing with you because I don't like what you're saying. That's just my opinion. So again, that stunts the growth of it. So, but that's my authentic self. Do you see what I mean? Does that make any sense? So I think, yeah, I'd like to get paid more to do more reviews, but you know, I don't think that's ever going to happen because I'm so transparent and so straightforward when it comes to stuff. But again, I will get stuff wrong. I'll make mistakes. I'll get excited. I'll get behind things and things like that. That's human nature. But all I can try and be is authentic to you guys who watch, who subscribe, and hopefully you know that when something comes in here, I'm firstly going to run in the shoe or wear the products. It's not just shoes, but wear the products. I'm looking at it. Also, don't forget, I am a qualified athletics and running coach. Okay, so this is not just some dude who's trying to. That's more important. Not being horrible. The coaching side of what I do is more important. So I will look. I can do a gait analysis. I can take a runner. I can look at what they're doing. I do it physically as well as virtually, so I can coach. So I've got a little bit more about it in terms of knowledge and that side of things. So I look at it from a different perspective as well. But also, I'm not I'm a different sort of runner to another channel out there as well. You've got to remember that. It makes me laugh when people compare. You've done a video exactly the same as Ben. You know what I mean? Ben Parks. You've done exactly the same video. Well, no, I haven't, because Ben runs 2:35. So what he feels about a shoe is totally different to me, who basically runs a 4-hour marathon. It's irrelevant. Do you see what I mean? So again, I don't really understand that. So there's so much out there. All I can do is say to you guys that I will be, as always, as transparent and as honest as I can. And I will continue to be that way. And it has had a negative impact in terms of the growth of the channel. And within let's say the running community, the running YouTube community, people don't want to collab with me and stuff like that. And that's fine. I ain't got a problem with that. But I do know that people who do want to collab with me know me, and they understand me as the way I am. And I ain't going to change, unfortunately, because I am what I am. So I hope that answers the question, Tom. Spend a little bit more time on that, but hopefully it gives those people who are coming or maybe new to the channel, just find it. Maybe they're just finding out about the, what's it called? The shoe reviews and stuff like that. It's, so Tom's just come back and said that Joanna gets I may be wrong, but doesn't Joanna get shoes from like Running Warehouse and stuff like that? I know he's got his app and things like that, and I'm a big fan of his, by the way, but did he not have a thing with Running Warehouse? I remember him going to a Running Warehouse thing. I may be wrong, and I'm not. Again, I love the guy, so don't take that away. But yeah, I think again, it all comes down to how you respond to each reviewer, and it's the same for. It doesn't matter if I'm watching stuff on fishing rods, or if I'm watching stuff on there. You're connecting with that person because there's something on that level that connects with you, and that sort of level of trust builds from there. I think. Don't know. Right, let's move on. Josh, looking at sub 4-hour marathon shoes for spring 2026, would you bag a pair of SC Elite 4s on sale? Yes, I would. Or hold out for another pair of Super Blast 2s when the new colorways shop. New colorways are coming. I personally, for the marathon, for race day, I'd go with the SC Elite. The Super Blast 2, you could wear that 100%, but you could train in that and race in that. But if you're looking for the race day shoe, is the race day shoe is the SC Elite. Okay. Okay, here we go. Gary, I'm currently running in the A6 GT 2000s, also the Puma Forever Run. Nice. Puma Forever Run 2 is a great shoe. Fantastic shoe. Picked up the Boston 13s. You picked up the Boston 13s for 56. They weren't the Boston 12s, were they? Evening. Considering treating myself to a pair of Super Blast 2s. How stable are they? They are stable. We like them. Thanks all the day. Okay. Ian was out for an easy 30 minutes this evening. Yeah, I bet you felt like you were going to swim, sweating like a thing. I tell you. How should you train if the goal is to improve your 5K? Focus on the shorter, more intense stuff. Don't neglect the longer run. Don't neglect that middle distance run. But try mixing some core sessions. Obviously, don't underestimate the power of the gym. Getting strong. You want some of that explosive strength. Yeah, working on that side of things. It's really key to getting stronger. Is your strength. Don't underestimate that. You need to get in the gym. You need to be strong. Okay, and we'll say work on some of that explosive power. That's what will help you. But yeah, just figure out in your week. Try and get 2, 3 decent, intense sessions, but really spread them out. And then don't forget and neglect that sort of slightly longer run with some easy miles in there, maybe with a little bit of pace at the end, but just try and work through that. But yeah, try and mix up those. So don't just do interval. Think about maybe say some intervals, cross train, and then do nice marathon, half marathon pace run with a little bit of a sting at the tail. Then do something, a little bit of a tempo run, threshold pace work. I mean, you can even double up. You could do a little bit of easy work in the morning, then do a threshold, whatever, and then get into some of that longer run. But yeah, start nailing it into get some of that spicy pace in some of those shorter efforts. Really max it out. Treadmill's a good way of doing it to get some of those harder sessions in. But please don't honestly neglect the gym. That's the key to this. You want to say explosive power. That's what you want to work on. Yana, I got myself New Balance SC Elite for £120. Lots of shoes out there, discount. Excited to try them out tomorrow. I think you'll enjoy them. It's a great shoe. Big change in SC Elite V5, people. Just as a bit of a heads up. So go and grab 4. Is long run training with a TPU plate okay? As I know people say not to train in carbon plates all the time. Thinking of picking up Hyperion Max 2 as they're cheap with the 3s coming out. Yeah, I mean, it's subject, isn't it, to everybody? Everybody's different. I mean, I like to balance it out, as I've said a million times on here. I like to balance out what plates I'm running and not running in. I get it's a bit more skewed for me because I've got so many shoes that we're trying to test. But if I had my own way, I'd just run all the long runs in the Super Blast 2, which has got no plate in it, and then race day I'd put the plate on. Do some of the speedier work, maybe with playing it, but it ain't going to do the end. It's not going to be the end of the world with a TPU plate in there. It's not. So first time catching it live. Love the channel. Just coming off a half marathon block. I've been lucky enough to get a bad place in London 26. Wow. Okay. If you need some help with coaching, get in touch. Simplest way to maintain fitness before starting a London block. I'll be honest with you. I'd do a block before a block. I would. 100%. Get in the gym. Start working on that. Get your cross training up to speed. Start now building some of that miles, proving that from that half marathon. Start really like carrying it on. Do a block before a block. Let's go. Yeah, don't wait until then. It's a silly little thing to do. Just get involved now. Start picking up the mileage. Get yourself a plan until the new plan starts. Start throwing in some sessions. Start working out what you like, what you don't like. Build a good base to build that on, yeah? Build a good base to build that on. Makes no sense. Hi, Chris. Cheers for continued fantastic content. Thank you, Neil. I appreciate that. Coming back from a back prolapse since London, what would your training look like slowly back into running? I would, firstly, I'd see what the physio said. So let's just put that out there. I'd do whatever the physio said, myself included. I've been at the physio and not listened to a word they said. But no, I would just build slowly. I would build slowly. I really would. I don't know what you've got coming up, but I would, just build slowly. Don't rush. I think that's the best way to look at it. Everybody, I'm back from injury. You don't need to rush. Run walking. It's great. Build some of that resistance up and then start layering in some of the other bits, some of that speed here and there, but get down the line and do it. Don't rush is the key. But yeah, just look to add the simple ingredients in, the easy runs, the gym, that sort of stuff, and just build some of that mileage. But don't feel under pressure to run everything. Walk it, build up to it, nice and slowly. That fitness will come back quicker than you think. Walking Captain, may I ask you which super shoe could be considered as the successor to the New Balance SC Elite for slow runners? That is a very, very good question. And it's one that I'm yet to answer. I think if the Ugiri was more readily available, I think that might not be a bad shout. Although I still feel it doesn't have the width and the sort of built up tank feel of the SC Elite version 4. There is yet to be a shoe at the moment that has presented itself to be the friend of the slower marathon runner this year. It could still come, which is why I implore you all to get yourself over to sportshoes.com or other retailers, because sportshoes.com, you can use our code. It's on our review website, and grab a pair before they go. It's funny enough, I was thinking about this. I've got a 10-mile race on Sunday, and it's part trail, part gravel, part down the river, small bit of tarmac, but not really. And I was actually thinking to myself, I might just wear the SC Elite. I've got like a million shoes to test. I was actually just thinking I might just wear the SC Elite version 4 because it can do it really well. It's that kind of shoe. So yeah, it's one of those. It's the same on Saturday actually. I've got a long run and then a faster part run. I'm still tempted to wear them. I don't know. We'll have to see, guys, with the Sonic Blast from ASICS. Let's wait and see what that's like, and then we'll see where we go from there. Although I don't really particularly like the name. Thanks to the Fordies at Derby yesterday. Great support. And also event was excellent with plenty of ice and water. Yeah, it was good. There was loads of the guys there. Lewis, I was always impressed with the GTS version of the launch and Hyperion. Gutted they've discontinued. Something? No, there's not been anything similar come out really, is there? In terms of those shoes, the sort of mild stability versions of those. It's a bit annoying, isn't it? Really. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Lewis. It's they just didn't sell any basically, and that was the problem. I'm over 250 miles in my Saucony Pro 4. Should I replace them now, even though they still offer a bit of bounce but offer protection? Yeah, I would change them up. Defo. Yeah, change them up. Why not if you can afford it? With the new drop coming tomorrow, pick one shoe that could do multiple distances. Gary, super last two. You're welcome. John, hello, mate. I'm a 5 per kilometer runner, so I think that's 5 minutes, and got a Hyrox end of the year. Looking for a decent shoe that can cover it all. Gym, working, fast but stable. Any ideas? So, yeah, I was funny enough. I was in the gym the other day, and the guy was wearing the DB8 Nitro Elite, not the Elite, the DB8 Nitro 3s he had on. with the old High Rocks logo on them. They look pretty cool, like a blue and a pink colour. Oh, Buds is out. Remember what I said to you at the start? If anybody is joining us late, first you get your questions in because I'm going to cut it soon. But I warned you, I've got fans behind me and I've got the window open, and Buds may come in the garden and do some barking because the pigeons are out there. Well, hopefully on the pod, if you listen to this, you can hear him. He's saying goodnight to you. Anyway, yes, I would have a look at the Puma shoe, the High Rocks version. Looks pretty cool. I caught my eye. The guy was in the gym in them. Maria, for a daily trainer and a shoe that can do it all, I like the Saucony Kivara Pro. Yeah, they ruined that shoe, unfortunately. I've now got to Tom's original question. Grab the Hyperion Max 2 while available. I'm £200 plus and run my races in them and bought a second pair. The DNA Flash 2 is firm but responsive. Yeah, it's so true. So true. It's a fantastic shoe. It really is. As I said, I ran the Brighton Marathon in it. Walking Captain, when you are asked for your opinion for recommending a shoe, what do you consider 3-4 most important factors in order to conclude a recommendation? It might sound nuts because I've been sent them, but price. Do they make you feel awesome? Stability. Not as in like, has it got like a posting or anything in it, but just I know how many people like me, like maybe mildly pronate, so tend to need a little bit of help. So stability, that might come at you. Let's just say more about the foam. Is it like a too firm, too soft, that sort of thing? So we'll go on that sort of side of things. And it's sort of versatility, really. I know weight's in there, but I think versatility, because if it's versatile, you can live with some of the other things as well. What can you do in it? Value for money, I go back to my point. So they're probably 3 or 4 things. We spoke about the Sonic Blast on this channel. I spoke about it actually, I think it was the start of the year, about the Sonic Blast. Mega Blast. Mega Blast, I don't think is coming in July. I might be totally wrong on that, but I've not heard anything about that. Nike from Aero Plus and Premium. Yeah. We're getting them. Also, regarding new releases, how far in advance do you get info details? Quite a lot. As you guys may have seen, may not have seen, we've obviously changed retailer. So I was getting a lot of information, and then we changed over, so the information dried up, and now it's changed a little bit. So it also depends a lot on the brand, how far we get away with it, what the relationship we have with the brand. But again, that's all changing because of the relationship now with a different retailer. So let's see how that pathway comes out. But before, it can be like, there's one brand that I've seen all their stuff for 26. So yeah, it's like, it depends on the brand. It really does. A lot more brands, but again, it depends on the relationship I have with them. Russ picked up a pair of Nimbus 26 and A6 outlet. Seem a decent recovery shoe. Yeah, they are. It's just me, are they super warm? They are. The upper on the A6 Nimbus is extremely warm, so watch out for that. John loves a crisp rant about shoes and brands. Some people don't need much of an excuse to have a go online. Yeah, I do get a lot of stick, but whatever. So I'm not everyone's cup of tea, which I appreciate, right? Horses for courses. What racing tempo shoes should you recommend for someone who has flat feet and mild pronation? Racing a tempo shoe, flat feet and mild pronation. I'd probably say like the Boston 13. It's a good solid hit. You know what I mean? Pablo, appreciate you don't pop up at every event every week. Slave to the latest brand. It's embarrassing. They don't invite me. Good evening, FORDY. Puma is looking good at the moment. When do you think? What do you think about the Magnify 3? I'm hoping that review comes out at the end of the week. I'm hoping to get enough miles in that so I can film that. Be a bit of a lastminute.com jobby. And I'm hoping I can get that out at the end of the week on the Magnify 3. All right. Okay. What's this one? Hot take. Best carbon shoe for sub 4-hour marathon. More mileage. Run more miles and you'll get a sub 4 marathon. Okay. Well, thanks, John, for that. Appreciate it. How do you judge, Carlos, when a shoe is done? Amount of miles or just by feel? Bit of a funny one for me, Carlos, because obviously we get so many shoes coming through here. we're doing like we wouldn't do the sort of mileage that a normal person would doing them before they sort of get destruction. Personally, for me, I'd go on feel. You can just tell I had a pair of New Balances. I could just feel they bottomed out, so got rid of them. So that I'd go more to feel. Maggie, hi Chris, actually caught you live. I'm still loving my ASICS Pure Gel. Race is going well. Be in touch. Yes, Maggie, I haven't forgotten. Philip's loving his older Hyperion Max 2s. Good. Yeah, great shoe. Ian's looking to buy a running watch. Could you recommend it? I've got the Garmin 965, but the Garmin 265 is brilliant. Everything you want. It really is. Okay, good. Alex, with the place in London Marathon 2026 confirmed, I have Super Blast 2 and Alpha Fly 3 for my Tissington half and then London next year. Should I hold out for later shoes for next year? Yeah, 100%. Just wait till next year. Definitely. Neil's come back. Cheers, Chris. Physio said I can run if no pain. Thanks for the advice. No specific training blocks ahead at the moment, so the gentle return sounds good. Boy, if I miss it, I bet you have. But again, don't rush it, okay? Don't rush it. Yeah, Matt, that's exactly what I was thinking. Sonic Blast sounds like electronic toothbrush. You've got to wonder, don't you? Megan, 3 runs a week enough for marathon training? Yeah, sure, why not? 100%. And Fiona, evening, just want to say, well done on your diet. What's your top nutritional tip that makes a difference to your running? Yeah, so again, just before we go, I've lost over a stone now. In however long I've been doing it, not long. I would say the easiest thing, the main thing that I've done is I've obviously gone focusing on protein and doing all the other bits that you're meant to do, but it's just cutting out the shit, basically cutting out the rubbish that I was just eating because I just like eating. But cutting that out, that's the thing. That's the thing, Fiona. That's the biggest thing in terms of making a difference to the running is because you don't feel bloated in the morning. You haven't got the cravings necessarily, and even now I feel a little bit more lighter. I feel a bit more energetic and all that sort of stuff. Although not tonight because it's so bloody hot. But yeah, that's the sort of thing really I would say. If you cut out the crap, right, that we all enjoy, and yeah, you've got to live a little. So, I have one sort of cheat day, let's call it, because you've got to live. But yeah, if you cut out the crap, and then it becomes easy after a couple of weeks in terms of cutting that out of your diet. You don't crave that rubbish anymore, and then when you do eat that rubbish, you don't fancy it because you're just like, actually, I don't really not into this. So that's probably it's hard, but it's the easiest thing. That making sense because it's the first thing you can cut. So yeah, and that's probably made the biggest difference to the running. I've just got to keep going in the gym. That's the thing. That's the thing for me. Music Runner's not been running, but thanks me for the live show. Thank you for joining us every week. I really appreciate it. Is it my okay? I'll take this as the last one. Walking captain. Is it my idea, or is ASICS trying to build a rotation on the blast? Yeah, they are. I'll just answer the first bit. They are. They're just trying. It's just flooding the market with certain stuff. It is what it is. I don't think they need to do it, but I think they need to shrink the ranges and make them like more specific. In fairness to Nike, what they've done with the silos, it ain't a bad idea. 3 shoes and everything makes sense, right? Or 4, even if you go 4 shoes. But all this and that and blast this and that, and it's a bit, But yeah, fair play to them. They're trying to get something out there. Look, if they make a shoe that suits one person, that's great because that one person's then got a shoe that they can go out and run in. That's winning. And that's all that matters, right? That's all that matters. Okay, team. I think that's enough. Thank you for joining me. Genuinely, seriously, I really appreciate it. I'm back here live again on Friday with the team. We're doing the pod. But again, I'm back here on Monday. So make sure you join me again on Monday. It's great to hang out with you. I just love it. Tell people that we do this on a Monday. they've got coaching questions, or they just want to talk about shoes, but coaching questions, I'm here to help. So look at it like that. You're getting a free coaching session on a Monday at 8 o'clock. A lot of people charge you for that. So myself included. So get yourself on here on a Monday, all right? Yeah, I think that's about it. Lee says there's a lot to take away from tonight. I don't know. I don't think I added any value, but I appreciate it, Lee. I'm going to look for the outro. I'll see you on Friday. Don't forget we're live on Friday at 7 o'clock. Go to the shoe reviews page. Look out for the Primex video tomorrow, and I'll see you later.